And welcome back to the Sawyer Center. SNU with the big win over Northwestern Oklahoma State today. We're joined by senior Kennedy Gillette, 16 points, 4 steals today. And Kennedy, a great win for you guys today.
Yes, it is.
What was the key to the stifling defensive performance?
Oh man, we cranked down on their offenses and we knew exactly what they were doing, so we were in the right places at the right time every time.
I asked Coach May this yesterday. For some reason, you guys have had Northwestern's number the past couple of years. Is that just kind of coincidence, or do you really feel like you guys kind of have their number with the big wins?
Oh, we just have their number. It's no coincidence.
There you go. Kennedy, you're number 5 in the country coming in steals. You added 4 more today. Are you doing anything differently? What's been the mindset for you just getting after the ball a little bit more?
Just being a little bit more aggressive. I'm reading them a little bit more, effort, just going for it.
Any particular reason why? Or it's just kind of last run, you can't hold anything back?
Give it all.
Which, finally, we were talking during the game how it seems like Bailey Brown's been around forever, but then we look at you and Abby and Lex, and I'm sure everybody else feels the same way. What is it like playing people for 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, when we do scout, I'm like, I already know. I've been guarding them for 5 years, I know.
Yeah. So, as you guys have been going this year, the defense has been cranked up across the board. How have you guys challenged yourself to be better day in and day out on that?
We push each other in practice, really. We got both teams working hard against each other, really working on that defense, and we always want to be number 1 in the conference, even in the country.
Offensively, 16 points for you today. Been a bit of a shooting struggle here in the early going. How big was it to see the ball go through the basket from the free throw line early, and how key was that?
It was really good. It felt good. Felt good. Felt my confidence a little bit.
When you're whenever you're in a little bit of a slump, what do you do? What do you tell yourself? How do you bring yourself out of that?
It's really my teammates and my coaches that really help me out. They really talk to me about it and get my confidence up a lot.
You go to Southwestern on Tuesday.
Yep.
You guys ran them off the court in their home gym back in March.
Yep.
I would imagine that this is one that they've got circled and one that you guys are equally excited about. What's that going to be like Tuesday night?
We're really excited. It's going to be a big one for us. We've already been talking about it for a couple weeks now.
Don't say that too loud. Coach May might hear that.
It's definitely been on circled, like you said.
Well, Kennedy, congratulations on the win, and we will see you in Weatherford on Tuesday night.
All right.
We'll take a quick break and come back with Trent May right after this. Welcome back. We're joined now by Trent May, SNU with the big win over Northwestern. And Trent, the defensive intensity, you guys really got after them this afternoon.
Yeah, well, when you look back at our last game played last weekend, you got to give it credit to Southeastern. They did a great job, but we didn't do our defensive scheme that we're capable of doing, and so really challenged them this week, especially challenged them even before pregame about how we can control our defense. We can control where we need to be, and when we're really active and excited to play great defense, we're capable of doing that, and it really puts a lot of pressure on the other team.
How big is it to have that combination? Because you mentioned that Southeastern game. You guys did force 19 turnovers, but the 56% shooting today, 27% shooting plus the 26 turnovers. How big is it to have those working in conjunction with one another?
Well, it's massive. I mean, I told you this week if I were an offensive coordinator, I'd be fired, but hired as a defense coordinator, and today I think I get to keep my job. So, it just helps when you make shots. But we also got a lot of easy baskets out of some transition play, and we also. When teams are running zones, you can still score layups, and so we were able to do a little bit of that.
What was it that allowed you guys to really get off to the good start this afternoon? You kind of came They jumped out to the 6-4 lead, and then you rattled off 17 straight. What was the key to that run?
Well, they couldn't do what they wanted to do. You know, they really like to throw the ball inside to number 30, and she's a good player, and I would too. But we did a really good job of limiting. In fact, I don't know if they really got any of their sets off the way that they're normally running. So when we're scouting and we're trying to figure out, hey, how we're going to guard this play and that play, and you know, our girls just did a good job of not letting them get to their sweet spots, and you know, it puts a lot of pressure on a team when they can't do what they want to do.
They ran a 2-3 zone the entire game. How do you feel your girls responded to that?
Well, we did a good job. I mean, there were some careless turnovers, some calls that normally, you know, a couple of carries, of travels, and you know, and that's always, for me, it's always frustrating turning the ball over when there's no pressure. I don't like turnovers while there's pressure, but when there's not and you still have those turnovers. But, you know, our girls did a good job moving the basketball. I thought we shared the ball really well. And, again, I like the fact that we got layups out of their zone.
Looking ahead, you've got a big one Tuesday night against Southwestern. Last time y'all were there, ran them out of the gym in a key conference tournament setting.
Yeah.
How big is this one? You're going to say it's the next one?
It is.
But how exciting is the next one, I should say?
You know, it's like you got to be ready. There's nothing easy about our conference. Even today, our girls worked really hard and did what they were supposed to do. You know, they were challenged all week, and so they stepped up to it. But going into another game against another conference opponent on the road, you know, you gotta win at home and be thieves on the road, and so that'll be our objective on Tuesday. They're a good team, and they're still always going to be one of the top teams until they're not. And so it'll be up to us to make sure we go in and do a good job of controlling the controllables.
You turn the calendar, 4-0 at home, like you said, defend home court.
Yeah.
Hard to believe we're already turning the calendar. The next time we'll be here, it'll be 2022.
Right.
How do you assess your team so far?
Yeah, well, first of all, they're a phenomenal group of women that I love coaching, and it's a blessing to be able to coach them. And I love the fact that they do a lot of what's asked, you know, and they hold themselves to a higher standard. And you know, coaches are always going to want more. We're greedy by nature, but I love the fact that they're just a fun group of people to be able to coach, and I'm blessed to be able to be their coach.
Trent, thanks so much for your time. Congrats on the win.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Thanks.
We'll step aside and come back with the start of the men's game right after this.